feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride away.
King Von friend. He popped out like, hold on. He popped out like this. Okay, so this is Oblock Louie, who, he's showing off his recovery picture. He was shot in the head that night. If you guys don't remember, so there was so much chaos that happened. Vaughn is running down on Quando Rondo to beat him up. Little Tim hops out, shoots somebody. Then the police who was working off duty, they respond. They shoot. Like, I ain't gonna lie, whoever them off-duty cops was, they was on timing. They shot Quando Rondo. Not Quando Rondo. They shot Lil Tim. They killed one of, because now, remember I told you when Vaughn's people came back from the car, this is why I think, Lil Tim is going to beat this charge, right? They're going to beat this charge because multiple men were armed walking up to Quando Rondo. You get what I mean? Which is going to then put a reasonable, it's going to be reason enough for you to use lethal force as self-defense, especially if you testify when you're in the car as Lil Tim and you see a bunch of dudes with guns in their hands walking up to your friend. In self-defense, at least in Georgia, you could use self-defense to protect your life or the life of a friend or a family member or a child or something like that. And so the police, after they hear the first couple shots that killed Vaughn, they pull their gun out, but then the Oblock dudes got their gun in their hands, so they don't know what's what, or if maybe Quando with other niggas, so they kind of like up their guns, and the police just ain't gonna wait too long for your ass after that, right? They shot him, and he got shot in the head. There's another guy who died, and looked like, he got shot in the head. Looked like he had multiple surgeries, right? This is a picture before. This is him and Vaughn before, and then this is a picture of him now. You could tell, the bullet must have probably went through his skull. They probably did mad surgeries, try to make sure he's good. Shit. And I want to be very, kind of respectful when speaking about this, but you can see like it felt like his head is split open on the side. You can see how like half of his head is kind of like still like lumping over here. One of the eyes like shut. This is definitely physically affected him, and it will continue to affect him for the rest of his life. This is another picture. I guess he was on Instagram Live. Man, this shit is no fucking joke. You get what I mean? Again, we got to be very cognizant and aware about all these shootouts that we keep hearing all these guys talk about. Yeah, shit don't just happen where everybody just gets a leg shot and they come back the next day. Some people are permanently altered. I believe also with Nipsey Hussle, they said if Nipsey had survived, he would have been able to walk as well. He would have been in a wheelchair because there was multiple gunshot wounds that went through his spine. So they believe that Nipsey was going to be pretty much like in a vegetated state if he had survived. So that's kind of crazy, right? Yeah, the reason why I'm showing this, we have to take stock. By the way, this is him before. This is the guy before. We got to take stock of sometimes what all of this gun violence bullshit actually results in, right? You take a man like this and some crazy shit happen, and this is him now. You know what I mean? This is him now. Fucked up, actually, But also, here's the thing: it puts a face onto some of the things. Like, for example, like that King Von line when he be like, "Yo, Wooski got shot in his head," and like something like that. Like, there was an op, Wooski, who allegedly got shot in his head, and they mercilessly clown that nigga. Like, they clown that nigga all day. They be like, "Yo," and said, "Usyk got shot in the head. Now he taking medicine." Right? I think that was like the line. They're mercilessly clown that dude. Now, if you look at this and you kind of see, it's like, bro, this don't look like something that you would want to clown somebody over or even be making, This doesn't look like that. Story to tell says, man, them cops turned homie into Jadena. Man, this is not a joking thing. Jadena is a guy usually with a parted haircut, normally, or the old Jadena. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, he used to have a haircut like this. Whatever happened to that guy, Jadena? Man, this is sad though, bro. This is fucking sad. Hey, you know what? Once my friend in the military told me this. A guy who's been in multiple war zones, a guy who's, in war, he saw people die right next to him and people died in his hands. And one of the things he said to me, he said, if only people know what war really looked like. Because when CNN and Fox News reports war, it sounds pretty. Oh yeah, we dropped the bomb, we killed all the bad guys, we're still chilling, everything is cool. If people saw the actual carnage of war, people taking their last breath, people getting their head fucking exploded, people losing limbs, people seeing how just crazy and dangerous like all this is, he said people would probably think a little bit more differently about world affairs. They'll be more respectful. They would realize war is something, or even confrontation, or even occupying another country is something that we as Americans, we probably don't want to do, right? But as long as war sounds like a video game, right? Like, you know what I mean? Shit. I'm wondering if Vaughn's family, do y'all think Vaughn's family, Vaughn's family owns his estate now, so all the money from King Vaughn is going to go to them. Do you think that Vaughn's family owes, like, say, this guy something? I think they do. I think they do. All right, I take it off the screen. I took it off the screen. I could tell some of y'all were, getting some trigger warnings. Okay, here we go.